Hello, citizens of this great nation, United States of America. I, Barack Obama, President of the United States, address you today to touch on the topic of marijuana decriminalization and our legalization. I have received millions upon millions of your emails regarding this subject, and today I just wanted to make myself clear. I am a prohibitionist junkie. My drugs of choice is arrogance, hypocrisy, self-interest, and spinelessness. Yes, I smoked lots of pot in my life, and continue to do so whenever I can sneak away with my homies. Yes, I have made comments in the past that I believe marijuana should be decriminalized. And yes, I have made comments that we should rethink the drug war and to stop treating drug abuse as a criminal issue, but instead we should treat it as a public health issue. However, that has all changed now. I am the Commander-in-Chief, and as the first black president, I just cannot touch on the marijuana reform issue. The reason being is it would disrupt my self-interest and cause a rift between myself and the right-leaning people that I am truly concerned about. Yes, I realize this isolates me from my base, and it makes me look like a damn fool. But you must understand, I have no choice. After all, it's the swing voters that got me here in the first place. I do realize that marijuana reform will probably eventually be handled more properly by a Republican or a Libertarian, like Ron Paul or perhaps Gary Johnson, the former governor of New Mexico. But this is where I show my true ignorance. Not to mention, I have a bunch of moral busybodies around me advising me there is still a significant number of people in this country that are still living under the veil of ignorance regarding marijuana. And though there may be no scientific evidence to perpetuate the lies that the government has spewed over the last 70 years, we must continue our current drug policy because I cannot afford to be demonized as a pro-drug advocate by the ignorant asses of this nation that are still living under the delusion that marijuana is dangerous and harmful. Also, I would like to take the time to address the recent comments by the American Medical Association, also known as the AMA. In October of 2009, the AMA released a public statement and changed its previous position on medical marijuana. The AMA announced that marijuana does in fact have medicinal value and therapeutic benefits. They also suggested that the federal government reschedule marijuana to reflect this consensus. First of all, it would be unfair to all the prison guards and their unions, and it would be unfair to the many agents in the DEA. Also, it would be unfair and an extreme disadvantage to the criminal justice industrial complex if we rescheduled marijuana, or legalized it or decriminalized it. Regardless of what the facts may be, the simple truth is that we would have to decrease funding to the DEA. Many prison guards would lose their jobs as we suddenly realized we didn't need so many prisons anymore because we were no longer locking up nonviolent drug offenders. We simply can't allow these good people to lose their jobs or be forced to go out and investigate rapes, robberies, or other violent crimes. Everybody knows that locking up drug offenders is easy picking and helps us meet our incarceration goals. The United States locks up more of its citizens in prison than any other nation, and that makes us number one. At something, at least. We can't afford to lose that. Also, I would add that it is our intention to sustain the lies that we have spewed for the past 70 years for one reason that trumps all other reasons. And that is the fact that marijuana causes people to question things and to not be so easily duped and deceived. It also turns people into peaceful, laid-back, nonviolent activists. Now I ask you, how are we supposed to recruit an Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard of volunteers, and how are we expected to wage wars all across this world when everybody is laid back and at peace? It just can't happen, people. It causes people to question things that their government does, that otherwise they would never even consider. It is harder to brainwash people who are free thinkers and whose perception has been altered to a degree where they can see through all our bullshit. So for this reason alone, we the federal government have no plans on ever reforming marijuana laws. Many of you may ask, Mr. President, you smoked weed and smoked crack. You never got in trouble, put in prison or jail. Your life was never ruined by the criminal justice system, and you rose to be president of this great land. So why, Mr. President, do you hold such a hypocritic position? And to them I can only advise that they do like me and just never get busted. So I bid you farewell, Americans, and I hope this clears this issue up. And please, stop sending me all the damn emails about marijuana. I'm not reading them anymore. Thank you, and God bless America and no place else.